Welcome back, my dear students, for the modern philosophy classes. We have already begun with John Locke. The introductory part is over. We are with his theory of knowledge or epistemology. The first point is the origin of knowledge. And then the second point will be, yes, the degree and extension or kinds and all that will come. Clear. But then first point is origin. In that the first point is refutation of innate ideas. Clear. So in other words, the position, the fundamental position held by rationalist philosophers have been simply called into question by the empiricist philosophers, particularly by John Locke. Therefore, refutation of innate ideas. If we have innate ideas, well, then we must become conscious of it. That is one position held by, and then the children and all should have been, and the unlearned and all should have been knowing lot of things because of innate ideas. Therefore, that is not the case. Therefore, innate ideas are, yes, ruled out by empiricist philosophies. Now, innate ideas not only regarding knowledge, but regarding, yes, I had already explained, regarding ethics. You ought to see, in other words, moral principles, and then ethical notion, God notions, etc. All that is called into question. There are no innate ideas. That is what was dealt with in the last class. And now, if there are no innate ideas, then experience is the source of knowledge. Clear? To one, origin of knowledge. To one is refutation of. Refute means reject. Refutation of innate ideas. Okay, then to experience. That is what we are dealing now. So experience is the source of knowledge. Yes, experience is twofold. External and internal. External, yes. 5, that which you get through the 5 senses. Okay, internal is called reflection. So this remains the fundamental or the basis of any type of knowledge according to John Locke. In other words, experience is a source of knowledge. Experience is twofold, namely external, that which we get through the 5 senses. This, and then what you receive through the 5 senses are taken in, and the second aspect means the reflection. You do the reflection. You get the smell. Yes, you identify this is, yes, either chicken curry or fish fry or whatever delicious food that you like to mention. Okay, you get the smell. Yes, you get also the taste in your mouth, even if you have not tasted it, because you have tasted it before. And when you see that, you say, yes, it is fish fry, it is chicken fry, you say. Yes. In other words, whatever is taken from outside through the 5 senses are taken in, and then a reflection, a coordination. Okay, coordination, I mean simply from the philosophical point of view, putting together all that you have received through the senses for your reflection, and you form, yes, next one is, yes, ideas. In other words, experience is the source of knowledge. Experience is twofold, namely external and internal. External, you get through the 5 senses, and internal is called reflection. And thus, you form, with the help of these two, you form ideas. Ideas are simple ideas, yes, complex ideas. If you study English grammar, you know it. Yes, sentences are of different kinds. Simple sentence, complex sentence, compound sentence, complex compound and all. How? Depending on the different ideas that you put together. Simple sentence, my name is Cherian Valiyaveedu. Yes, simple idea. You make it complex or compound, and I come from, yes, and I am. And you go on adding. So in other words, exactly, that is what is called, I call it also, the anatomy of ideas. And how do you get ideas? Yes, to get ideas, well, you should have your senses, and you get the primary information through the senses, and then the second one is a reflection, and with the help of reflection and through what you received through the senses, you form ideas. Ideas are of different types. And then, simple, complex and all. Yes, exactly. We have also a structure for language. Whether it is Telugu or English or Malayalam or Hindi or any language, it has its own structure. Yes, first one is simple. Yeah, for the children in the kindergarten and all, you don't teach compound sentences or complex sentences. You begin with simple sentences. You tell them to make simple sentences. Ask them to name ask them to put their name first, their family name, where do they come from, about their parents, and then we go on learning it, and finally you are able to make compound sentences, complex sentences and all that. Why? Depending on the multiplication of different ideas. So the structure, same brothers here, follow. Therefore, experience is the source of knowledge. Experience is of twofold, external and internal. External is called through 5 senses. From no sense, you get the perfect idea. But then, only with the help of reflection, you get the ideas, you form ideas. Ideas are of different kinds, simple, complex and all. Then, well, after explaining everything, I will dictate it. Well, there is also something called primary and secondary ideas. Yes, when you observe through your senses, you get certain primary and secondary ideas. After having completed, we will go into primary and secondary qualities, not ideas, qualities. Qualities. Primary qualities that in an observation, what you find in color, shape and all that is clear. That's called primary. Secondary one is, yes, you see what you take with you. Okay, all right. So we go with the second point, namely experience is a source of knowledge. Locke points our experience as a source of all our knowledge, and this is of twofold. In other words, yes, starting point of knowledge. Yes, experience is the source of knowledge, and yes, Locke points out that our experience is the source of all knowledge, and this is of twofold. Experience is of twofold, namely external and internal. External and internal. Those that are external are also called sensations. Yes. 5 senses, sensation. So, in other words, they are not knowledge, they are not ideas, they are fragmentary informations you get. And those fragmentary informations that you receive are put together with the help of reflection, and thus ideas are formed. So, okay. Those that are external are also called sensations. Okay. It gives us ideas of color. Yes, you see something. Yes, you have the color. Yes, color means yellow, green or black or white and all that is connected. Okay. Then heat, cold, soft, hard, sweet, sound, extension, etc. Yes. Take for example, Take a water bottle. Yes, you see something. What is that? You call it water bottle. Or how? Yes, you see water inside. Bottle is there. There's a shape of a bottle. But we don't say this particular shape. Yes, this particular shape. Yes. And then you have the reflection. Yes, therefore through the senses what do you see? You call it a bottle. You call it a water bottle. Why? There is water inside. It has a shape. What is the shape? Yes, this is a shape. It has a color. Yes, what is the color? This has a color. So, in other words, those that are external are also called sensations. It gives us ideas of color and then yellow, green and etc. Heat, cold, soft, hard, sweet, sound, extension, etc., which are called sensible qualities. So, in other words, sensation gives us information about sensible qualities. Sensible, yes, qualities. So that is what is the first one. And then internal experience is called reflection. Yes, that's not taking place outside. You don't do that reflection with the eyes or with ears or with, yes, tongue or with kinesthetic or with, yes, fifth senses, five senses. So, internal experience is called reflection, by which we experience the operations which our mind exercises on sensible objects. In other words, whatever you see, hear, smell, taste and touch are taken inside and a reflection is made and then you name it as what? Yes, you get a smell, yes, coming from Brindisi and Francis or anywhere and you say, yes, fish fry being made in Brindisi, you say, okay, or in St. Francis. Very important. So, now I'm not saying that fish frying is important, but then the analogy or anatomy of ideas by John Locke is something very important. Now, in other words, external sensation provides us with the sensible qualities and internal sense. That's the reflection, thus you form ideas. That's the thing. Okay. Now, next paragraph. Ideas can be divided into simple and complex ideas. Yes, simple ideas and complex ideas. You know, what is simple ideas? Simple ideas are coined with the symbol. Yes. From the operational standpoint, mind is relatively passive in the reception of simple ideas, but active in forming complex ideas. Yes, that sentence is a key sentence in John Locke. Yes, with regard to the formation of simple ideas, the mind is passive, not that very active. Why? Yes, you see, you look at outside and you say, yeah, it's a cloudy day. It's a sunny day, at the same time, cloudy day. You don't have to have so much of reflection for that. But then, when for that the mind is not that very active, in the sense you see something and then it akin with the reflection and you form the sentence. But then regarding complex ideas, the mind becomes very active. Now, for example, to tell your name, yeah, you say, I am Suresh or I am so and so. But then, suppose something more is asked. How many brothers are you? Where are you from? Which district of Andhra Pradesh? And all that is then, yeah, if you do not know the district, then you will be doubting which district it is. Okay. And so, the mind becomes active in forming complex ideas. But then, relatively passive in forming simple ideas. That is much enough you need to remember. From the operational standpoint, mind is relatively passive in the reception of simple ideas, but active in forming complex ideas. All ideas we get by experience are simple. All ideas, whether it is compound ideas or complex ideas or whatever it is, but you get first simple ideas. So the mind is relatively passive, but then mind becomes active to form complex ideas. So that is, the mind by combining simple ideas forms complex ideas. Clear? Simply, for example, you call Institute of Vijnana Nilayam, Institute of Philosophy and Religion. Okay, philosophy faculty, theology faculty. And then, where do the students come from? Where do they stay? Then you also talk about complex idea called Mariapuram campus. And then you will have to talk also about the different study houses attached to, yes, Vijnana Nilayam, Institute of Philosophy and Religion. Clear? So in one sentence you can say, Vijnana Nilayam is an institute where philosophical theological training is given to the candidates. Okay, but then the moment you start talking further, the mind becomes very active and you have to make complex sentences. The complex sentences will comprise also, yes, where do the students come from, where do they stay, which are the houses attached to Vijnana Nilayam, and all that will come. Then it becomes complex ideas. In other words, what you perceive first is simply with the help of sensation and reflection is simple ideas. And the mind is very passive there. But then regarding the complex ideas, the mind becomes very active in forming new ideas about Vijnana Nilayam. That's all. So that is okay. Now, next paragraph. Locke turns his attention to the question as how ideas are related to the objects that produce them. We are still moving a step further into that. Now, Locke is also talking about some kind of a representation. In other words, well, how ideas are related to objects outside. Now, when you say Vijnana Nilayam is an idea, and then which are the objects here, institutions attached to Vijnana Nilayam. So, there is a correlation that is also very important. Idealism, realism and all that, so many types of philosophies will come. We don't go into that. But then Locke turns his attention to the question as how ideas, means ideas formed, simple ideas or complex ideas, whatever it is. Ideas are related to the objects that produce them. What we primarily experience are the qualities. So in other words, when you talk about something, what we experience are primarily the qualities. Follow? Yes. For example, when you say a snowball, what do you get? What are the ideas that you get? A snowball, for example, idea of round, moving, hard, white, snowball, it is called. So these are some of the ideas when you talk about a snowball comes. Clear? Okay. Objects have qualities and he defines a quality as the power to produce any idea in our mind. So look at, we are specifying and going deeper and deeper into the theory of knowledge. Objects have qualities and he defines a quality as the power to produce any idea in our mind. Yes. Look at, objects are qualities and he defines quality as the power to produce an idea. Yes. Seeing it, you call it a glass. Why? Yes, it is able to produce an idea. Yes, you say, yes, you can take tea in this, coffee in this, water in this, and all that. Warm water probably, no. Why? It is plastic. So, an idea you can create. And so, look at that sentence. Locke turns his attention to the idea, to the question as how ideas are related to the objects that produce them. What we primarily experience are the qualities. Okay. Objects have qualities, and he defines a quality as the power to produce any idea in our mind. For example, when we speak about Vijnana Nilayam, well, we know it is able to produce a quality in our mind. What is that? Educational institution, formation center. It is not fish market. Follow? So in other words, when you say about fish market, well, there is a quality that is being produced. We go there to buy fish or to sell fish, not to get knowledge. That's the point. Therefore, look at, yes, the power to produce any idea in our mind. The snowball then has qualities that have the power to produce ideas in our mind. So, therefore, he makes a kind of distinction further. Locke makes a distinction between qualities and ideas. Qualities and ideas. Qualities help us to have an idea. That's the point. Okay. Ideas are what the mind perceives in itself. Yes. Because of this, you have the idea formed. That is in the mind. Qualities are not in the mind, in the reality. That's the thing. That's what I called realism. Not that you create qualities, but you form ideas. You don't form qualities. And now, well, there is also another question. Color, where is it? Is it in the thing or in the mind? Of course, that is a question to be dealt with. But then, remember here, we are not PG course conducting PG course, we are conducting bachelor course. Therefore, yes, qualities. Ideas are in the mind, qualities are in the things. Okay. All right. Ideas are what the mind perceives in itself. Qualities are the power of a thing to produce an idea. Example, the power of an orange to produce in me the ideas of yellow, sweet, round, etc. So that's anything. For example, you say sugar, yes, is an idea. Immediately, yet it produces the qualities of sweetness, whiteness, and crystalline form, etc. So, the power of an orange to produce in me the ideas of yellow, sweet, round, etc. are qualities. The corresponding sensation or the perception produced in me are ideas. Okay. All right. He distinguishes between primary and secondary qualities. Primary qualities are those inseparable from the bodies. Yes. Yes. The primary qualities. Color, for example, is inseparable from the bottle itself. Yes, you call it, I'm looking for a piece of white chalk, but then the other ones are colored ones. Yeah, a particular color is there. So in other words, power of an orange to produce in me the idea. And then when you say about chalk, the same. Sugar, same. Water bottle, same. Okay. Primary qualities are those inseparable from the body. Yes, the bottle has its color. Yes, this glass has its color. That is inseparable from the yes, object. Okay, inseparable from the bodies, and they are extension, figure, motion, rest, etc. Secondary qualities are nothing in the object themselves, but they are only materially objective. They are mere powers to produce various sensations in us. Their primary qualities, color, sounds, taste, smell and touch, they are. Okay. That is about idea. Then qualities, primary and secondary qualities. And now we go into primary and secondary qualities little more. The importance of Locke's distinction is further being discussed by the rest of the philosophers. Therefore, it is something very important. The importance of Locke's distinction between primary and secondary qualities is that through it one sought to distinguish between appearance and reality. Appearance and reality. Okay, primary, secondary qualities. This is something deeper, which is part of your third year course. I don't touch upon it now. Okay. Before Locke and others, well, you don't have to go into that also. His discussion of primary and secondary qualities assumed throughout that there was something that could possess these qualities, and this is called substance. In other words, yes, primary qualities are found in the substance. Yes, in other words, substance is that which has a quality or power to create an idea within us. Therefore, it is substance. Substance is having, yes, shape, color, etc. So, it is something deeper, clear. This is how he defines a substance. We look at, yes, others, how did they define substance? Substance is that which exists in itself without the support of anything else for its existence. Clear? But here the man is telling, yes, that which has the capacity, power to produce an idea in us. So, in other words, they are with qualities. Substance is that which has qualities. That much is enough to remember. Okay, so that is something very important. His discussion of primary and secondary qualities assumed throughout that there was something that could possess these qualities. So that is, they are called substance. And this is called substance. Locke approached the problem of substance from the common sense point of view. That's the thing. So he approached substance, the concept of notion of substance from the purely point of view of common sense. Yes, did not go, because by common sense they don't approve innate ideas. Ideas how do you get? You get ideas through, yes, sensation, through experience. Experience is of twofold, namely external and internal. You get through the senses. What do you get through the senses? Are taken in, and with the help of reflection, you form ideas. And then there are simple and complex ideas. And then there are primary and secondary qualities. All these you find in the substance. Look at, and altogether from a empirical perspective. In other words, from the process of inductive method, observation, verification, and then you predict. In other words, observation, experience becomes the other one. Yes, because you have, yes, they don't approve innate ideas. Experience is the root of it. But rationalist philosophers, they said man is endowed with innate ideas. Therefore, they could say define substance from an intellectual point of view or rational point of view. That is how they define substance. How did they define substance? Substance is that which exists in itself without the support of anything else for its existence. And then one substance, according to Descartes, that is called yes, the absolute substance, and there are two relative, and then both are reduced to one by Spinoza, and then extension presupposes force by Leibniz, and all that is. But here, from the empirical point of view, from experience, he defines substance. Substance is that which has the power to generate qualities, power to generate ideas in us. That's the thing. So, first we had from an innate perspective definition of substance. Now you have from the experience point of view, empirical point of view, the definition of substance. And then the next section will be the degree and extension of knowledge. I take a little extra time here in John Locke, because to understand what later being said by George Berkeley and David Hume, well, here is the basis. Therefore, my students should go through John Locke very clearly through the class notes, understand the distinctions made, how you get ideas, how first you get is simple ideas, and then at that time mind is very passive, but when you form complex ideas, the mind becomes very active, and we have ideas, and then he makes a distinction between qualities, yes, the thing that is able to create within us, and that is called qualities. Qualities are primary and secondary. Primary qualities are found in the thing itself. Secondary qualities are, yes, that is through our perception, hearing and all that we have it. And thus he defines substance. Substance is that which can, in a very rude way, speak as substance is that which can create in us, yes, qualities. And that qualities are primarily in them. Through our senses, we understand them. So you see, one from inside, the other definition is from outside. You approach everything from an external point of view through your observation, and that is what is this. Rationalist philosophers, on the contrary, they said man is endowed with innate ideas, and therefore you have innate ideas of all these, But they said mind is tabula rasa. According to empiricism philosophers, mind is tabula rasa, empty slate, and you through experience you start writing something. What do you write? You have the ideas in your mind. Yes, primary qualities are in the things, and you have sensation, and thereby you get qualities of shape, color, smell, taste and all, clear. And that is how. So, in other words, John Locke becomes the base to understand Berkeley and Hume. And their position is called, as it was dictated in the first class regarding empiricism, is called classical position. Later, philosophers, Russell and others, George Moore and others have developed further into, they deviated from the classical position and a new one that is in the contemporary position. So we wind up now, and then we will start with the degree and extension of knowledge. In other words, how far, to what certainty that we can talk about knowledge. That will be in the next class. Thank you.